Hey everyone, welcome back to Maids Who Made It. This is the podcast for cleaning business owners who are done being stuck in the field. I'm Cheryl Hager. I'm the founder of this podcast. I run my own company, Made Bright. I run Drop Them Out, and I've coached hundreds of cleaning business owners, especially women, and I've gotten them out of burnout and into real businesses. So today's guest, I'm so excited to have her on. Looks like she should be tough as nails. She's a cattle rancher's wife and knows how to actually rope cattle. And she was one of the nicest, most conflict avoidant owners I've ever worked with. That combination almost cost her everything. So if you think you can run a cattle ranch, you can run anything, you would think that, but Brenda proved that wrong, because the hardest thing she ever had to do was not wrangle livestock. It was telling clients and staff no. So in this episode, you're going to get to meet Brenda Hagen. I'm going to walk you through exactly how she went from $20,000 a month and had chaos in her business to now $35,000 a month, which is a brand new number, with real systems. So you can see what it actually costs to be too nice in this industry and what it takes to fix it. So welcome, Brenda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Brenda's the owner of Done Right Cleaning out of South Dakota. And when we first started working together, she was doing about $20,000 a month. Now she's at $35,000. But the number really isn't the story. The story is everything that had to break before she let herself charge what she's worth. So, Brenda, walk me through a normal day. Tell me what the cattle ranch life looks like with your husband. I know he primarily runs it. Tell me what that part of your life looks like.
Well, it depends on the season. So right now we're in the middle of haying season.
Okay.
It's been hot, like over 100 degrees for close to a month now. It's insane.
Wow.
It's and we have we have irrigation on our farm ranch, so that helps us. Otherwise, like, everybody's toast for hay. It's really, really sad right now. People are bringing their animals in early off summer pasture. It's not good. But so that's a stress. Calving is a different season. That's more in the winter.
Yeah.
So that gets a little intense. And then, of course, you have branding, which is before they go out to summer pasture. That's more in like May, June timeframe.
So what's branding? What does that mean?
So branding, it is different because the South Dakota there's a joke that it splits east and west. It's two different states.
Okay.
So East River, they do not have to brand their cows. They don't have to track them. I don't know. I don't understand all of it. I just know that they don't have to. Yeah. We do on this side, though, so people can't steal them. So you have a brand that goes on your cow, and that's registered to you. And so you have to do that, especially if, like, we take ours probably 40 miles away to summer pasture. Right, so, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So you need to be able to, if somebody takes them, then that's the identifiable way.
So is everyone pretty good? Like, if one wanders off, they will return them to you?
Oh yeah. They're herd animals. They stick pretty much together.
Oh, they stay, so they don't run off or anything. They stay on. I would say 50 miles away is a long ways away.
Right. Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of people do it. There's some, it really just depends on your operation probably too, but lots of people have summer pasture. And so, depending on your herd size, you can split and go different places. I mean, so yeah.
I thought you kept them like all in your farm area. I didn't know that.
Not during the summer. No. Yeah. During the winter we keep them close to the house during calving. But other than that, yeah. Because we need all of our other ground is irrigated. So we need that to be, we need that for hay production.
I see. That's kind of neat. That's different. Yeah. So do you tell me how good you're roping cattle? Can you do that?
I'm not phenomenal at it, but my son loves it. He carries a rope everywhere. Like oh yeah, he's ADHD, and I swear it's like his fidget spinner. He's good at it. That's the sucky part.
Like the rope, he just carries it like on his hip, like you see in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he even built his own. Him and his dad built their own roping dummy. And my husband can do it too, nothing professional, not anything like that,
Right.
but if you have to, obviously, but
If you
yeah.
have to, right? If someone goes astray, you have to get them or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So is it a tough business? Like, what is it like? Explain to me like how that is like physically and mentally doing that for a
Well,
living.
I immediately go to like weather related. So again, it's been over 100 degrees for dang
Yeah,
near a month now. That
right,
in itself is physically taxing, but it's also mentally taxing because there's still work to do. You have
right.
to pray that something doesn't spark a grass fire. Our local fire department, I was just talking to one of them today, and they had like 10 calls in 11 days because
Is everything just like going up on
it's
fire or
so
like what?
Yeah, it's super, super dry. So, but you have to somehow still get your hay up because see, like we have multiple cuttings. So we have first cutting, third cutting, and second cutting.
Yeah,
And so you have limited time frames because then they
yeah,
shut the water off. So you don't get the water after a certain time frame in like September, October-ish, depending on the
yeah.
weather. So there's that. There's, a time I remember a couple years ago, it was with wind chill -60 for almost a week. It was
That's crazy.
horrible. And
They
it
go
was,
inside then, right? You put them inside.
well, we do, but you have to feed them. So
Of course,
like
yeah.
our equipment wouldn't start. So my husband and I, well, we had one tractor that would, thankfully. But I mean, you were out there and like, it was so bad. My eyelashes were frozen. They were
Oh
icicles.
my God.
It was horrible. But
That's
yeah, they
wild
have to be fed.
weather.
You have to make sure they have water, of course, in that
Right.
temperature to deal with, you know, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what makes it hard then, that
Yeah.
weather.
Yes.
All
Oh,
right.
definitely. Yep.
So you have to be pretty tough to do that. Where does your toughness go when you walk into your cleaning business? Out
Out the door.
the door, Brenda becomes a completely different person.
I do.
So, like, honestly, why can you handle like a hard calving season, but like not tell a client their price was going up or having a hard time fire someone? Like, what do you think the difference is?
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, like when you're out doing, and I even milked cows for a while too, and that's every day, twice a day, early hours,
Yeah,
not always fun, but you can control it yourself. So it
okay.
doesn't matter, the animals don't talk back to you. There's no
Yeah.
confrontation. So if you,
Okay, that's a good point. Yep.
yeah, and so you build that mental toughness because you're like, well, it's fine if I just get through this next 15 minutes or whatever, then I can get to the house and warm up for a bit or whatever the case is. Whereas if you're dealing with people, which I love people, but I don't like, I'm just obviously, yeah.
Do you love people though? Does anyone really truly love people?
Most people. If you're in customer service long enough, you really.
So, what do you think people assume about you because you're a rancher's wife, and how wrong are they?
um, I'm assuming, yeah, that they're tough. I don't know. People around here know what it's like to be a rancher's wife. So I
Right.
would assume, and they know being out on the farm and stuff, that it can be long hours. And even some people, it was so funny. My husband came in from haying one night and it was like 10 o'clock at night because that's what you have to do sometimes to get the work done. Like the work doesn't stop. And so people around here, for the most part, know that it's a farming community, ranching communities. And
Right.
so they are very well aware of that. But yeah, that's what I would say is that probably, because I can, and you do take pride in that. Like, okay, I can handle this. It's
Yeah.
fine. I just have, you know what I mean? And for whatever reason, that walks out the door in confrontation sometimes.
With people, you
With,
just yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's just dive into it. Tell me about the chaos. So before we started working together, what did a bad week actually look like inside your business?
Well, I have had some who would just bring their own products. They thought it was fine. They didn't want to go with what I was trying to lay out as like structure. There were some that showed up on drugs that told me it was menopause.
They
There,
told
it,
you menopause?
yes.
So
And
they
I'm
brought
not
their
an
own
expert
products.
doing
That's
that.
interesting. That's happened to me too, and I don't know why they think it's okay to bring their own products.
I don't understand that either because I guess that's probably part of it too, is that I was raised to respect others. So
Right.
I would never, ever even consider something like that. And so I had one who, I found out after she quit, she was taking my vehicles and doing her own grocery runs with them.
How did you didn't have them tracked? You didn't have them.
I put a mileage chart. I was informed of it. And then, because again, small town, I was informed of it. I put a mileage chart in and she quit the next day.
So that's a hard thing. You're from a small town, so when you have to fire someone, I bet how much of that town knows that they got fired.
It depends on if they get on Facebook or not. But truly, like it's a topic it could be. It gets very personal because there's a lot of us that are even related to each other, in all honesty, that I have in here, which goes good and bad because it's grown organically in that way. But also, you have the downside of that.
That could be tough. So basically, don't tell anyone something you don't want everyone else to know.
100%. Yes.
So okay, so that's the first time I've heard the grocery store. I thought you were gonna say she was using your car to clean other houses. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Oh man, no, nope, I haven't had that yet.
Yeah. So when you were like in the beginning, like what was running through your head every month, knowing that, because I know you were underpriced in the beginning. Like, why did you let it go for so long?
Obviously I am just too nice. Like part of it's like, well, I'd rather inconvenience myself than someone else. Even though now I'm learning and there's still part of me like that. I'm growing, I'm learning,
Yeah.
the whole part of this and why I wanted to do this. But me thinking like, well, I can't have conversations like that. I can't put that on someone else. It'll be fine if I just, inconvenience myself.
Right.
Let me work for free. It's fine.
So let me ask you this: if you and your family have the cattle business, why did you start a cleaning business?
Just for a little extra side.
Okay.
Because I originally was in the school system with our kids, and quite frankly, I don't know about there, but here paras do not get paid what they're worth at all. It's ridiculously low.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was just like, you know what? Like this is a great schedule, but this is silly that and in all honesty, I like being busy too. So it kind of got to the point where I'm like, what am I doing? And so I didn't know what else to do. I didn't go to college. So, and anything else that I looked at, I'm like, well, I was a stay-at-home mom before that. So I don't want to be strapped to somebody else's time scale. Like
did your family, were they ranchers too, like your parents?
Yep, that's where we're at now, is the farm I grew up on. Yep, and my husband's upbringing was on a ranch too.
What did your husband say when you said, hey, I think I'm going to start a cleaning business?
I think he thought I was crazy. I'm sure at first he was like, oh, okay, if that makes you happy. And then, when it turned into more, like once I started hiring, yeah. So he was supportive though.
He's supportive. That's good. That's good. Well, he started a business, right? Yeah. So he should be. So give me a specific story of a client, and we're not mentioning any names, who took advantage of you and you let them take advantage of you when you should have said no.
There was a gal who I'm sure it was I know it was a misunderstanding. Well, I think. See, this is, Anyways, she wanted us to clean her basement bathroom. We had so she was one that I had taken on when I was by myself. And she was like, well, what would it take? So we were trying to get it done in the time frame because I was nice. I didn't raise anybody's prices when I started hiring people, which is stupid, but so many people do it from what I'm learning. So
Yeah.
I, of course, was like, nope, we have this time frame. And the girls did really, really good in trying to stay in that, but it was hard because, and so anyway, she's like, well, what can I do to get that basement bathroom done? And I'm like, $20 is fine. Let's just add that.
Yeah.
Well, fast forward, I don't know how many months. She, for some reason, thought it was the entire downstairs because she had come to me with a complaint saying, well, the girls are not doing the downstairs.
Yeah.
At the time, there were employees standing in here because I just have my office. They come in and get supplies and stuff here still. So I did not want to have that conversation in front of them. And so I let it go. And frankly, honestly, some of it probably was just me not wanting to be confrontational about it too.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Yeah.
Anyways, so now I'm like, $20? Like, you really think you could clean an entire basement for $20?
How big was the basement?
Oh, it is huge. I bet the house is probably at least 3,000 square foot.
Oh, that's massive. It must have been 1,500 square feet of a basement.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not hard.
For.
That's not the point. You can't clean an entire basement for $20 anywhere.
No.
But I didn't.
How long did that go on?
Probably, I don't know, a few months.
Okay. And then how did you end it? Like, how did you say, hey, by the way?
I'm sending her a price increase letter.
Have you done it yet?
Mm-hmm.
And what did she say?
Nothing yet. We have yet to see.
Oh, so this is fresh.
This is fresh. Yes.
Fresh and halfway now.
Yeah. The last month, maybe. I can't remember exactly when this happened.
How much did you raise her?
$20.
Okay, so it's $40 for the basement.
Yeah.
Right, with the 20 and the 20. Okay.
Yep. Which is still not enough. I mean, truthfully, she probably should be paying twice what she is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the jury's out. I thought you had already done it. Okay.
Yeah. No, this was fresh.
So did you ever sit down and total up like what saying yes to everyone was costing you every month?
Essentially, yes, because for so long, and it causes so much anxiety. That's why it's so stupid. Yeah. You are your own, I am my own worst enemy, because I would sit there and every single night, like, okay, I have this much coming in. I have this much for payroll. I have this much that I need, like that, So then, of course, it was like, well, I can't take anything out of that because I have to pay my people. And it was just, so the actual number, I don't remember. But yeah, it was constant. Like my brain never shuts off, which is normal anyways when you're doing a business. But it just never, I was always calculating numbers because it gives you like such anxiety. And if I would have just stepped up and said, you know what? I am paying people now. This is what I need. And I have started doing that now. And it's funny because the new customers we've taken on, I have upped them. And they're without doubt like, sure, sounds great.
Yeah. How much did you up them?
Like about $15 per hour.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Per hour per cleaner. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And no one's giving you a hard time.
Nope.
That means you could probably go up even more.
Yes. I just actually had this conversation with my girls today because I'm like because we did a construction clean and they were like, oh my gosh, they're so smitten with you guys. You did such a good job. And I'm like, I thought I was going high.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yep, no problem.
Raise it another 10 and see what happens.
Okay. I can do that.
We're doing live coaching right on the podcast. I want to say 5, but I really want to say 10. And so if you raise it 10 and you don't, and people saying no, then only raise it 5.
Yeah. And I really think like that's, I know we'll talk about this in later too, but that's where the coaching comes in because like all you have to do is do a good job.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. And it's so simple, but then, because people, in fact, we are doing another construction clean next week for another company. And they, because their cleaner they had on it did such a horrible job.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you and I own cleaning businesses, so to us, we're just like, how hard can cleaning be? But you never want to ask that question because you get different results. So tell me about the worst day you ever had with an employee before we started working together. What did they do? What did you actually tell me the situation?
The worst day.
Yeah.
I would say one of them, like one, the one that showed up on meth was pretty phenomenal.
Tell me about that. Tell me. And how did you know it was meth? How did you find that out?
In talking to people, I know nothing about any sort of drugs and like the effects of them and stuff. So we had gone to a home. It was out of town a little ways, 15 miles or so. And I knew something was off right away. She got in my car. She was in the back seat and she spilled her coffee all over my car. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I just thought, because I wasn't paying attention. I was driving. So I assumed maybe she just, slipped. I don't know. I was trying to be nice. We get to the house and she is like vacuuming like flash. She's flinging rugs all over the place. I had to go over to her, and I am not a yeller unless I get really super pissed.
Right.
I was like screaming at her. I'm like, you have got to like calm down. And
was this erratic behavior? Like, what did that look like? Okay.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And I don't remember if this was before or after, because at one point she went to my Jeep, but we were in a house that the garage was on the front of the house where we parked, so I couldn't see her. But she came at one point, was cleaning a shower, and she had calmed down by then. But she was sweating profusely, like through her shirt, wringing wet. Told me it was menopause.
How old was she? Was she even in menopause? Was she 30 and saying she was in menopause?
51, I think. Yeah.
51 and still doing meth. Talk about aspirations.
Yes. I found out later she went to jail.
She went to jail?
Later.
Oh my God. At least you didn't steal anything in your clients' houses.
No, but I have had that too. That was probably one of the worst. I forgot all about that. We had a gal, I started again because she was very forward with me with her background. I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, she's being very forward. That's awesome. I'm all for second chances. And we went and cleaned, I think it was our first or second day. And I get a text from the homeowner who I had gotten to know very, very well. She was one of my absolute favorites. She's just amazing. And it probably upset me more than anything because she was going through a hard time anyway. She was going through a divorce. And she was like, Brenda, I hate to even tell you, but my son's ADHD medication is missing. Now, me, like, I don't know about that world. I did not realize you can sell it on the black market.
Yeah. I think you sell everything, really.
Yeah. Well, that's what she was doing. And she, unfortunately, and I noticed, so it was a multi-level house. I was upstairs. The other girl that was with us was downstairs. She was on the main level. Well, the Ring camera's battery was dead that day, so the homeowner couldn't even see anything. And she's like, I know it was here before she got here. And then, of course, I started questioning them. And the other girl, you can just tell, without a doubt, she was telling the truth. And she's like, Brenda, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay. I just got to figure out what's going on. Well, later I come to find out, it was and she no called, no showed 3 different times. So she was out the door. But again, she ended up in jail.
She ended up in jail while she was still working for you?
No, this was after.
Oh,
okay. Yes. And she had been sober for like 2 years, I think.
Yeah, it's hard. So like, I'm all for second chances, but I feel like we don't hire anyone that hasn't been clean for a while, like 3+, 4+ years, because you don't know, right? You don't know. You can't tell. Like, you probably couldn't tell when you interviewed that lady.
No. And the thing is, like what I was more upset about was that her little boy had to go without that medication. She only, I think there was a week left in it, but that's just enough time for him to come off of it, for her to have to deal with him, and then for him to have to get back on it because it's a controlled substance. And so then she had to go through, and oh man, I was so mad. I was more mad than she was, I think.
That's sad. That's sad.
It was awesome. And I never, ever, ever in a million years. First of all, I didn't know you could do that. Second of all, why would you take it from a child?
I don't know. Just because you have a problem.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because you have a definite problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in your business, like, was there a moment, like, maybe it was a client or like an employee or something that happened in your business that made you want to quit?
Yeah.
Walk me through that. Like, where were you? What happened?
So the first, I hired 5 people and fired 4 within the first 4 months of hiring people.
You hired that many people once?
Well, that was meth lady.
Okay, meth lady.
And there was another one who she was very sweet, but just didn't care. Like I would point out, like, you need to dust this. And she's like, I don't want to. Who tells her yes, they don't want to?
Where'd you find her?
Out there.
How were you hired? At that point, how were you hiring? Were you using Indeed? Or?
It was organic. It was just word of mouth.
Oh, so some rando wanted a job. That's
also how I have found some of my best employees too.
Yeah, you never know. You never know where they're going to come from.
Hard. Yep.
That's the thing. Like, just because you run an Indeed ad doesn't mean you're going to get all good applicants. Yeah, you can get some, but you still have to filter through everyone.
Yep. And I should have known. Again, I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But I was just like, because I had to pick them up and drop them off. Like, you can just tell, like, there's just a different mentality.
Yeah.
That it just was like, yeah, no, this isn't going to work.
Did it take you a while to start getting better people?
Yes.
How long would you say?
I'm trying to think when that was. July-ish, 2 years ago. It's probably been 2 years exactly this month, actually, that I've been hiring people. So
you feel like you've gotten better at screening applicants?
Oh yeah, definitely. And sometimes you can't tell. There's one who I thought was a phenomenal applicant, and she ghosted us her first day.
You never know. It's almost, I tell everyone, it's like dating. It's like when you're dating someone new for the first 30 days, it could go either way. It could seem awesome, and then they could just ghost you. Stop answering text messages, and you don't know what happened. Or you never know what's going on in someone's life either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And to back up to because I did want to quit. Like, I could not sleep. I didn't really want to eat. I was so stressed out. I'm like, is this what it's like when you're hiring people? Because I don't like this. Yeah, like, I wanted to grow. Literally bawling my eyes out in my living room, like, am I even doing this the right way? Am I doing what I'm supposed to? Like, you feel like a complete failure.
Yeah. Were you cleaning back then, right? You were cleaning 5 days a week? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And then you have to share your income, right? So you and I'm like, I cannot grow with this chaos because so then I'm giving away part of what I was previously earning by myself, because I was easily doing 2 houses a day, 5 days a week.
Right.
And this is a big area. So some of it, was travel time and stuff. It just, it was.
And that's the breaking point when people are either going to stick it out and suck it up, or they're going to quit and go get another job and work for someone else. So everyone that's been at a breaking point right before they're going to have a breaking point and have a growth spurt, you get hit with all this chaos because it's testing you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, big time.
It was definitely testing you.
Yeah, like, I knew I did not want to give up. So I finally eventually got to the point, just sitting there thinking, like, and praying, like, I don't know what to do. And then you look at your options. I'm like, these options aren't great. I don't want to be in a Monday through Friday 8 to 5 job.
Yeah.
But physically, I was going to the chiropractor every week. So physically,
5 days a week,
I needed to hire somebody if I was going to continue to do this. And so I had to, that's where probably the farm girl in me stepped up and was like, you either got to figure it out or be done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean. It's like, it's running a cattle ranch and growing up in that is a different type of tough. You know what I mean? You just have to take that toughness, whatever it is, and transfer it over.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that can happen? You have to reschedule clients. It's not a big deal. No one's going to die.
And our customers are amazing. I honestly, like 99.9% of them are just phenomenal people, and they very much understand. But they also had me for 2.5 years, and I called in one time because I was super sick. I was in bed for like 6 hours. Beyond that, the only time I even rescheduled anything was due to weather.
Right, because you can't.
So
was it
they were very gracious with me. Yeah. Very gracious. They're good people.
Usually people are pretty good about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just you feel like a failure and you get mad because now you know income isn't going to come in that day.
Right. Yeah. That was the other thing that I'm like, if I'm sick or if I want a day off, then I just basically have to say goodbye to my finances. And that wasn't an option either.
No, not at all. So
and what if you're making this hard, like eventually you're going to cap out by yourself too, financially.
So you can't keep, and I was just on the phone on the Zoom with someone that's going through the same thing, Dustin out of Wisconsin, and he knows he's getting to the point, he runs it with his daughter, and they clean 5 days a week, and he knows he's getting to the point where the days of him cleaning 5 days a week are coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Burned out. Yep. It happens to all of us. It happened to me. Happened to you. It happens to everyone. And you're either going to, no pun intended, take the bull by the horns, look it up and go, or you're just going to say, this is enough. This isn't for me.
Yep. And I did eventually get to that in sitting in my living room at 3 a.m, bawling my eyes out. Like, I haven't even put myself out there to hire people yet.
Right.
So why am I pouting?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth giving up. I've worked way too hard to earn a reputation, to just give up. It's just not.
Exactly.
And I suppose part of that is being a military wife too. Like, that gives you a toughness too. You know, you're a
military wife too?
Yeah, my husband was in the military for 24 years.
You can't quit anything ever.
Mm-mm.
You're not allowed. He defended the country. You're not allowed.
Yeah.
When did you decide, like, what made you actually decide to get help instead of like white knuckling it all alone?
I needed my sanity. And I did. I got on to Indeed. I got onto local listings. Like, oh, maybe there's another job. It would just be so easy. Like, I could just. But then it came to could I really tell my faithful, loyal customers, sorry, I have to take the easy route?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I couldn't. At the end of the day, I couldn't do that.
No,
because honestly, and that's, I think, why a lot of us get into it is you have a servant's heart. You want to make people smile. You want to, and the mental load it takes off people. Oh my gosh. It's time and time again. They're thanking you, because mentally it takes a weight off their shoulders. So how can you go and look at them and be like, sorry, it got too hard.
Sorry, you're going to clean your own house this week.
Yeah. And we even had some elderly people. I'm like, I cannot do that to them. They physically cannot do it. That's why they hire me.
Right. Yeah. So you reached out to me for help. Like, what made you decide that you couldn't figure it out on your own?
I more so wanted guidance. I think sometimes you can just get busy.
Okay.
And I'm sure I probably could have figured it out on my own, but honest to goodness, the guidance is what I needed. It's going to be okay. This happens to everybody. You're going to be it was therapy for me, which we've talked about. It really was. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy.
I remember opening up the Zoom because we worked privately, and some days you were just like,
mm-hmm.
like that. And most of it had to do with staff.
Yep. And
Honestly.
I would even come in with like a tension headache and I'm like, oh, and by the time we were done, it was gone.
Really?
I just needed somebody to help me walk through, maybe is the best way to say that, to be like, it's okay. Like this may happen, this may not happen, but like just, and it's weird, I guess, to explain, but I think the confidence in yourself, that's probably where it comes from, like being too nice and stuff too. Because
Yeah.
I've always been a confident person, but it's completely different when you're running a business. I mean, like, I didn't go to college for anything. I've never done a business before. Like, I managed my household.
That's a business in itself. An
It
ugly.
is essentially, but there again, you really don't have to deal with other people. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean it can be really, really challenging sometimes, but I think it's all the way you react to things. And that's a lot of like what we worked on is your reaction to things and
mhm.
not going from 0 to 360.
Yes.
Every day is different. Being a boss, an entrepreneur, a leader, every day is going to be different. One day it can be smooth sailing, the next day it's hurricane.
Yeah.
Like you
Yes.
have to
And that's
maintain
like,
a feel over
yes.
it.
And that's the hardest part, probably. I even was just saying that this morning. We had a crazy morning. And the girl I ended up having to clean, and the girl I was cleaning with, I'm like, I'm not going like clear down here this time. Like was not
Right.
happy about the situation, but emotionally I was not so like up and down.
Doesn't it feel better?
Yes.
It's all the way you react to things,
Yeah.
right? All the
Yeah.
way you react to things. Did
Yep.
you, and I don't know this, I'm asking you this, when we worked together, did you resist anything that you
I
didn't, that you didn't want to, you just like, shit, I don't want to do that.
well, yeah, I'm sure tough conversations. That was definitely one of them. Because partly too, I'm like, I don't want, and it is small town. You do have to be
Yeah.
careful in how
Oh, yeah.
you people and how you react to people and how, and some people just don't care. Like be gone. But when you're like, we are super involved in our community, and I know a lot of people, like, grew up here, makes a big difference. And networking and things of that nature. And it just grows, like that is part of why it grew so much, is
Mhm.
because I have a good
Oh,
reputation.
totally.
Yeah,
But
I do.
don't you think you want to have a reputation that's not like as a leader, as not a pushover and someone
Yeah.
to not mess with? Not a bitch, but I just mean like you want to be like, well, it's a really good position if you don't fool around.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'd
Yes.
rather
And I will tell you, my employees saw that this morning, because the ones that were here when everything that went down this morning, they were like, I'm like, okay, here's the deal. This is what we're doing. I'm like, good. And they're like, yes, ma'am. And I
that's what
love
you
them.
want. That's what
Yeah.
you want. Yeah, exactly. So like
So,
when you were in the program, was there something that like hit you the hardest? Like what was the hardest thing for you when we worked together?
um, probably hardest thing. Probably being vulnerable to things you need to improve on, like actually having feedback on things that, because like my husband, of course, bless his sweet soul,
Yeah.
he of course would have feedback, but it's your husband. So you're like, so when
And
you have feedback,
it's also tough. Husband
oh yeah,
men respond differently than women do.
yes, exactly. And he's managed before, so
Right.
he knew things, and I just had to learn certain things on my own too, though. I think that's part of it too, is like, I have to learn that this isn't, like, I know this isn't okay, but I have to learn that doing it sooner is okay. It's not the end of the
Fire
world.
faster. It's hard to fire fast because you feel like you need them sometimes and you can't
Yes.
do the schedule. But
Right.
what's the sense? Isn't it better to reschedule your client and get a better employee?
Right. Right. Which almost happened today, but thankfully everybody who was working, we were able to figure it out, and it was fine. Thankfully, because I
Okay,
have amazing people. Like, a lot of our people are really amazing. So,
good. They weren't
yeah.
always amazing though.
Nope. They were
So
not.
at the height of the toxicity, tell me what that was like?
It was hard because, everybody sees it. We have enough people now that obviously we're still kind of like a little family. And so everybody knows everything, of course, and what goes on. And if there is an issue, everybody knows. It's, no secret. And so some of it's hard because I know I need to be having some of these conversations sooner.
Yeah.
And then hearing, not in a bad way, but just getting feedback from everyone else. I'm like, I have to protect these guys. Who wants to stay in a company that is chaos all the time? I wouldn't want that.
Nobody does.
I don't want my good people to leave just because I can't handle a tough conversation.
Right.
So that is where I've kind of gotten to now, because I'm like, this isn't okay. I want to grow this into a wonderful place for people to work, where people truly are cared about, but yet, they know, like, if you get a job there, you're expected to do your job. But it's wonderful if you do. Like, that's what I want to build. And it's hard. That's probably, because I knew inside I needed to be doing it better.
Did you feel like they were taking advantage of you at one point? Your staff?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like taking your for weakness?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What made you put your foot down?
Just the simple fact that I honestly got sick of the drama. Like, you just get to a point, I guess, where I've had enough. Like, you don't get to continue to bulldoze me. Like, that's the thing because I've coached stuff too, and about, the farm ranch background, you just get to the point where you're like, and even being married to a military person, deployments and stuff. That's so I've had to toughen up. I've had to level up, and you do get to the point where you're just like, I am not going to let you bully me. I'm not going to let you run my company. This is my company.
Right.
So I've definitely grown into that. It was not there at the beginning.
And what was that like? Like, what was their reaction? I know you fired a few people you had to fire. What was their reaction?
They were not happy.
No. They freaked out? They yell and scream?
One was pretty nasty. Actually, two were pretty nasty to me. One told me that I was mean. And I'm like, girl, you are the first person ever on this earth to tell me I was mean. Like,
Exactly.
No. Be gone.
Some people, for the simplicity, some people just aren't employable.
True. And that specific one, again, has had, she was only here for maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. And she has since then, I think that was back in May or April. Yeah. And she's since then had multiple different jobs. And we're just talking a few months. Like,
that's a sign.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. So who would you tell to get help? Like, if someone was interested in looking, at coaching or whatever, who would you tell not to bother, and who would you tell to get help?
I would tell anyone. And this is probably from the coaching side of me, because sometimes people can look weak, but you don't know their heart. If they have heart, they're going to be tougher than anyone else who has talent. And so, and sometimes it comes from the most unexpected person, like, whoa, and whereas this person maybe that was talent or seemed super duper confident or whatever, and then they just caved and gave up. And so I would tell anyone, because it is extremely beneficial.
Sometimes you don't know who's going to come out of it's almost like a horse race. Like, when I work with people, everyone starts at the starting line, and then you see who pulls ahead. And sometimes the people that pull ahead you would never expect would pull ahead, and you think the one, like, you have your favorites, right, in the race. You know how they rate like horses. You have your favorites, and then they end up bombing, and they do nothing.
Yep.
That's how
I don't know if it's just me being stubborn or determined or what, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna, like, you're gonna have to force me to fail. And it's just not.
You didn't want to give up. So once you had all of your standard operating procedures, your team leaders in place? Like, how did that change your business?
Oh, the structure came, and there's things we're still, work, but it's become so much better. The chaos is not chaotic like it was before. I do not come home every single day and I'm not anxious over finances. I'm not anxious over, payroll. I'm not like constantly watching. I'm not anxious if somebody's going to show up or not, or heaven forbid what they do show up with,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and I pride myself on my reputation and my good character and stuff. And I feel now I can peg that a little bit easier and send good people into these homes. Like, you should be able to trust who you're hiring
You
to clean
should.
your home.
No, you totally should.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it like the first time a team leader handled something that knew you didn't have to handle? How did that make you feel?
It was good. It was a big sigh of relief,
Yeah.
and it's hard because I'm figuring out now where I can start handing stuff over. I'm like,
Well,
like, should I do this? It's hard. It's because essentially you grow from yourself having control over completely everything
it's your
from
baby too.
start to finish. Yeah. And then you have to let people take part of your baby and you're like, oh my gosh, like,
Mm-hmm.
be careful.
And what does it feel like when they drop the baby?
um, horrible.
It's horrible, right? But
It's
you have to go through that. Like, you have to go through that experience because it is going to happen. Your
yeah.
team is going to screw up.
Yep.
My team has screwed up many times over the past years, and it's all in how you have to look at it like a learning curve, and you have to teach it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, hey, this is what happened, and we lost a client because of this. And so now this is a direct result of you not doing your job. And that's where you, as a leader, steps into that real role because you have to teach them. You need to teach them accountability.
Right. Yep. And
Right?
I would say for the most part, right now, that's because anytime we get any positive feedback or even any negative, I always share it with them. And
Right.
sometimes, this, like for instance, because we clean Airbnbs also. And the other day there was one that just forgot to put some of the supplies out. And I told the girl that did it, I'm like, it's no big deal, honestly, because she's phenomenal. So, I'm like, it happens, because what happened was she was in the middle of cleaning it, and another crew that was up there, because we had 6 in one day, another crew that was up there had come to check on her to see how she was doing, and she completely spaced it. I'm like, it's okay. The clean was not the issue. It was just, so there are things where it's like, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, and you're going to lose clients, and you have to. It feels like someone gut punched you when it happens because you've tried so hard. You've done your part. You did the great customer service and the whole estimate and the whole thing, and your team just fucks it up, and it feels like shit, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
But you can tell that I felt this before myself.
Yeah.
It's the only way that you're gonna teach your team. It forces you to take responsibility, to teach them accountability. And if you continue to teach them accountability and they don't take accountability, that is when you decide whether or not you're going to let that person go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's, you know what I mean?
Yep. And the ones who care, the ones who are going to do a good job, absolutely, without a doubt, take accountability.
They usually do. The leaders, like the leaders rise. You know what I mean?
Yes.
True leaders will rise, You got a big, huge commercial account when we were working together.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think thinking on this because we started in October and I got that a month later. So we actually started out at like 15 because that added.
Oh, did you really?
Mm-hmm.
15 to 35,000. That's big.
Which is crazy because I sit here and I'm like, well, it's not that, like we're not like massive corporation. So you think that you're still just this little guy, but then to sit here and think about how far that's come, that's insane.
That's kind of bad.
I told my husband the other night, I'm like, it's so funny because when I was trying to like bat around if I should hire people or, you
Yeah.
know, I talked to another girl who had a cleaning business at the time. She doesn't anymore. But I'm like, what were you up to monthly? Like, I'm just trying to, kind of run numbers in my head and stuff. And she's like, well, we were about like at 6,000 over the summer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? That's a lot.
6,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, like, look what we've done.
Oh, that person was a solo cleaner. Yeah, exactly. Well, you've worked hard for it. So $50,000 a year commercial account is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any fears like of letting, so now you have people going out at night, obviously a car dealership, the glass needs to be perfect, the floor needs to be perfect. That's like an elevated level of cleaning. Did you have any fear of letting that go, like giving that responsibility to others?
No.
Who do you have on at night?
A lot of the same people I have during the day.
Okay.
They're pretty darn responsible. Honestly, they're really good. We haven't had too many issues. There's been a couple things here and there, but nothing major. But part of what has happened was, like they're your typical business person. So that was where my fear was more than my employees, simply because like I quoted them a price and they knocked it down by however much. I'm like, okay.
Commercial always has a budget.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And they knew way more about business than I did. And so, which is fine. It's still, there's still a great profit. It's, which commercial should be. And that's what I tell my employees now. I'm like, the fun stuff that we can try and do. Cause there's just, like, I'm trying to do gift cards each month. We do a company barbecue now, and I give them each, we do a Done Right Difference Award and a Green Glove Award. And that basically one's on the job you do. And the other one is on, character and how you show up daily. And so we do that monthly now. And I'm like, that kind of stuff, or overages, we have a ton of Airbnb stuff that we're doing laundry on and stuff. And so paying people to do laundry, like that comes from that commercial account.
That's Green Glove Awards. I love that. You come up with that yourself?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Because I'm like, I want something to motivate them. And so far we've only done it a couple months now, but it's peer voted. It's not by me.
Did you like it? Yeah.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah. They really do put thought into it, which I love. Although I did have to tell them, like, you can't vote for the same person 2 months in a row. That's not fair. Yeah. So,
but go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, other than that, they seem to really enjoy it. They look forward to it.
That's cool. I love that name, the Green Glove Award. It's almost like that. Well, when I think of like gardening, that's green thumb, right? So this green glove is different
because we're green, because I thought when I started, I'm like eco-friendly as possible, green. Oh, yeah. And it's kind of become a thing. Not even on purpose. Like even our shirts, these are our new shirts. And I was talking to a community member and he's like, which company do you own now? Again. And I'm like, oh, it's Done Right Cleaning. And he's like, Done Right. Oh yeah. The green shirts. Yes.
Yeah. So would you think, like, as far as things like being so hard for you, is delegation still hard for you?
Sometimes. I think in the aspect of like letting go of the control.
Okay. Yeah. It's big for owners. It's hard.
It is hard because you're like, and then even if you do let go of that control some, like not like going behind and double checking it. And I'm not necessarily even talking the cleaning, just stuff in general, like, and it's hard because you want to make sure they all are, like maintaining the cars, cleanliness and keeping trash out of there and, so on and so forth. And it's hard because like when you implement something, you think, oh, they're going to go ahead and they're going to do this. And that is not always the case. The best people even sometimes just have a bad day or they just are tired or whatever. And so but I have to be careful though, because I know that I'm too nice. So then I'm like, okay, where is the happy medium here? When do I step in and say, okay, like And so we've implemented just training monthly for right now. And I think that's going to make a big difference too, because then questions and answers can get, tossed around when we're all there, and it's not various conversations and stuff. And so I think that'll help. I hope.
You have to communicate with your team to
Yeah.
make them get better. Sure.
Yeah.
So is there something like, can you name something like the last thing you did yourself in the last month that a team leader could have handled?
Quality checks.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Do you have them doing quality checks yet, the team leaders?
They are, I've been telling them because we have had some issues. And that's the part that's hard and why it's hard to let go, because in 2.5 years, I never had one complaint by myself ever. Not one. And so we have had even a couple residentials that we've had for a couple years now that they're like, oh, Brenda, like this one very sweet girl, but she was like, the last few times dusting has not been great. Bless her heart. She still tipped them.
Dusting is the biggest complaint across America.
Yep.
It is. I'm thinking about having a dusting competition in my own company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like, I know it's hard. I talked to them one time too. I'm like, you guys, that end dust was ordered 3 months ago and it hasn't moved off the shelf. Why? And they're like, that's my fault. They're so good. They're like, some of them are just like, that's my fault. I've been like, so we use citrus peroxide too. And so some of them were using that, that's 100% okay. However, there is a certain age of women who prefer the dusting spray, and it is not dusted unless you use that mentally.
Right. Well, because the smell.
Yes, 100%. And that's what I told them.
Smells half the battle.
So now they're using it.
Yeah, they have to. You always have to give them like gentle reminders.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because it's easy to think, I get it. And they were still doing the job. It wasn't necessarily that. It just, but I'm like, here's the deal. Like over time, you can skip it once, maybe twice. And we're Midwest nice out here. Like people they would rather not say anything than complain usually.
Yeah.
And so when they do end up saying something, that's when I'm like, this person has never complained, not once. And now they're saying something. They're nice about it. Nobody's ever been rude. They've actually been very gracious. But like, if I had to put up with that, I don't know that I would continue with us.
Complaints are complaints, you know what I mean? And you have to treat every complaint as 100% valid. You have to be accountable to it, and you have to look at the complaint, especially if they send you pictures, and you have to be like, okay, we messed up, or okay, this client is picky. You have to be really objective about it. And then if it's our fault or my staff's fault, they're going to hear about it and be like, and I just say, I show the pictures and I show the messages, and all I say is, what happened here?
Mm-hmm.
Silence, crickets. Everyone doesn't know what to say. You know what I mean? Because when there's pictures and when there's messages, it's not fair for me to be the only one to only absorb that. If we're all going to work together as a team, the team has to absorb that too. And as painful as it is, as crappy it is, you have to show them that. Why? Mm-hmm. So they get better.
Yep. And that's exactly what I told them. I said, here's the deal. And I'm very forward with anybody who starts too. I say this in training all the time too. I'm like, you have to be okay with being critiqued. That is the face of this job. Yeah. Your job is literally on display. So if you're somebody who does not like that, it might not be the job for you, but you have to be accepting of, especially when you start out, it's a lot. It's a lot to know. It is not the same thing as cleaning your own house. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot with products, what you can use, what you shouldn't use, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Then you have to learn personalities because you work in close quarters with these people on a day-to-day basis.
And you get a personality match as a boss and hire people you think you're going to get along with so-and-so.
Yeah.
And when you deal with all women, it's tough.
Yes.
You're all personalities. Yes. So what would you tell the version of yourself from, say, 2 years ago who was still saying yes to everyone?
I would tell myself, you cannot comprehend how much you will actually grow. Because and it floors me that I even thought this, but at the time I was by myself. So $6,000 a month seemed like it was like a huge goal. And it was. That's commendable, especially when you're starting out by yourself. And I'm doing bootstraps. Like, this is all from the ground up.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But to think back, I'm like, now $6,000 a month? It's just so that, like I said, was 2 years ago. I mean, I even had a customer compliment us. She's like, you've been growing really well. And I'm like, I guess so.
6,000 to 35,000 in 2 years is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that way until I stop and like look at the numbers or the number of people we have, things of that nature, because I tend to be my own worst critic.
Right, because we all are. Because you're in it, because you want more. You probably want more for yourself. You probably want 40, 45,000.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And so I was like, nah, I mean, I guess so. And she's like, no, really, like, you've hired in 2 years' time. This is what you've grown it into. And I'm like, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, and you know, and I have great staff. They remind me, they're like, especially the ones that are a little bit older. You know, I have one, she's pretty phenomenal. And she's like, Brenda, other companies don't do this. They don't care about their employees like you do.
Exactly. It makes a difference. That's why customers or clients will hire a good cleaning company, because of the way they treat their staff.
Yeah.
It's more important than everyone thinks.
Yep. And that's, I think, what makes it hard, because that's very important to me. So when I do have like conflict to where you do have to fire somebody or say, you know what, this is probably not the best fit, it's hard, because you're like, I don't not like you. It's not personal.
Nothing personal. Right. It's nothing personal. Sometimes people just can't cut it. It's not an easy job.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Basically it. So do you have any advice for cleaning business owners on the fence about like getting coaching or mentoring?
I would say don't second guess it. Don't, you know, like, I'm very much a like preventative maintenance type person. So I try to look at the whole picture before I dive in head first. So I very much am like, do I need this? Should I even spend the, like, and that's the thing too, you know, like, when you're not at the pricing you should be, you're paying all these people, you're having to pay taxes, you're paying insurance, you're paying, you know, all these things. Should I even be doing this? And that comes from growing up poor too, you know, like, I don't need to spend the extra. However, if you look even back from when we started to now, there's such a vestige. It's so worth it. Even just the camaraderie to know that you're not the only one. It's normal. Like, it's not like, because you do. I mean, I did anyways. I questioned myself. Like, I'm like, is this like, because you look at other people who have already come up here, and you're like, oh, well, it must have been easy. Like, they must have done something different. They must have had
money or something. You think something like that. Everyone goes through the same thing. Like, everyone goes through that, I don't know, very uncomfortable place where, like, it's hard to hire. It's hard to get people to show up to interviews. Then it's hard to get them to show up to, you know, the business, their office, because the business hasn't grown the foundation and the business doesn't look professional yet. So like, when people come to me and they say nobody wants to work, that is not true. They just maybe don't want to work for you, and we need to figure out why.
Right. We clean for a local business here, and then we clean her house too. And so I've gotten to know her really well. And one time I'm like, how do you do it? Like, how do you keep doing this stuff? And she was like, you just have to keep failing forward. And at the time I'm like, well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But then when you actually like live failing forward and you experience it, then you're like, okay.
Uncomfortable. Crappy.
She said you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's
all. You have to go through the wilderness season.
Yep. And she said, but it's the best thing you could ever do. She said, we can do things as business owners that not everybody else gets to.
Right. It's true.
So
it's completely true. So
And
do you
even
have, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, even just a simple fact of, like providing an income for people in a place that's like stress-free. It's not always stress-free, but a good environment is, oh man, I've worked
Oh,
for bad and I've worked for people who are like family, and hand over fist, I would choose the people like family. I don't care if I was making $2 an hour.
maybe not. Maybe make 4.
Yeah. But they and I'm still to this day, that was over 20 years ago. And
Yeah.
to this day, I'm still friends with them.
I'm pretty proud of you. That's a big, so we started working together when you were at 15,000. Now you're at 35. That was only what, 8 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
7 months ago, 8 months ago. You should pat yourself on the back. That's pretty badass.
Thank you.
That's pretty badass. So tell me about your experience, or tell the viewers your experience about Drop Them Up. Was it different than you expected? Give me the raw truth.
So I had another coaching company that I had previously worked with. And it was very hands-off. It was very, here's your materials, good luck. Like, they didn't answer questions. You had to be on phone calls in the middle of the day. I was still cleaning. That was not even close to an option. The one time I did, they were on vacation and I didn't know it. It was just not a good experience. And so I was hopeful. And I sat, I don't even know, probably the algorithms on Facebook is how I found you, but I saw it. So I kept, watch your videos and stuff. And I'm like, I like her. Because yes, I'm very tenderhearted, but I also appreciate the no BS. Like, please just tell me how it is and what I need to do, but do it in a way that's encouraging. You know what I mean? Like, tell me what I need to hear. I want to grow. I don't want to stay here, and I don't want to stay in this little like circle, but I want it, yeah. So it was different than what I have experienced in the past. It was really nice. And even the other business owners, like I see now, and that's where it's kind of cool to look back too, because you're like, oh, you see these other people that are having some struggles. And I'm like, I remember when I was there.
Oh yeah,
so
totally.
Obviously there's growth. Like I just don't measure it, I guess. I am oblivious to how much probably I've actually grown. But yeah, so it was a good experience. And the support, like I can message you and be like, hey, I mean, I think I did it today or yesterday or something. I was just like, how do you do this?
I did. My people DM me all the time and they ask me questions. So I have a way more hands-on approach than probably.
Yes. And it's personable. And I appreciate that, because that's what I needed. Like I didn't need a handhold the whole entire time, but I needed it to get up and out of the gunk. And to be like, put your big girl panties on, and you're going to build it.
I knew you had it in you. You know how to milk a cow. I mean, I don't know how to milk a cow. That's pretty badass. But you know what? If I lived on a farm, I love horses. If I lived on a farm, I would do that. I would milk a cow. I've ridden a horse. I've saddled a horse. I've done a bridle on a horse. I was doing that when I was 12. I wish I still had a horse. I got bit by a horse. That wasn't fun.
No, that was her.
I was saddling up this horse, and she was a little bit of a bitch. And I must have pulled the saddle. I must have pulled the saddle too tight. You know what I mean? Like under her stomach or something happened. And I was like 11, and she turned around and she nipped me. She didn't take a chunk out of my arm, but she nipped me to let me know, hey, that just hurt me.
Yeah.
And I still had to finish the saddle and get on her and ride her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could have done. I don't know if I could do that at this age. I probably would be afraid of her, afraid of the horse. But that's when I was 12. I think it's cool. And I always knew you had it in you. If you're a farm girl, you can do anything.
Yeah, there's you do build a certain level of tough, for sure. Okay. And you don't really necessarily realize it, because you just kind of like plug through.
Oh yeah, you just plug through.
You don't have another choice.
4 in the morning all the time. Like that takes discipline. So if you're able to do that, you're able to run a cleaning business.
Yeah,
I knew that.
At 3:30 or 4 in the morning.
I needed for you to see it. That's all.
Yeah. But you helped me see it. Like you saw what I didn't see in myself yet, and I still, some days I'm like, but it's not, like I said, it's not near as much of a because there were days where I'm like, Cheryl.
I remember you
like,
always put your face in your hands.
Yeah, it was stress. So much stress.
I
But yeah, some of it was because I wasn't, I could adjust some things, but just
right.
knowing it's normal, knowing that it's, because you do. And I think that's probably human nature is you look at these successful people and think, well, it must have just been easy because they did it. And it's not even close.
No one's born with business talent. That's acquired.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
Acquired experiences, hard experiences, experiences that make you tough, make you stronger, and then make you learn to make tough decisions without being emotional with it. That's the biggest thing, because as a CEO, you're getting thrown all kinds of stuff all the time. You need to put out fires, make decisions quick, fast, so you have time to react to everything.
Yeah, that is true. And there's even times where, like my oldest, he's 16. He's like, Mom, especially when I was in the lull, when I was in the valley, when I was low, and he's like, I think your cleaning business is making you crabby. I'm like, but here's the deal. I said, this is my goal. This is where I want it to be. I'm doing it for you guys. And so we can have a better life moving forward.
Right, exactly.
And in the process, you are helping other people and making their lives better. Like,
right. Exactly.
Who wouldn't even do that?
I do it.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. It makes it so that the hard days are not so hard.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
Well, we have been, like I said, we've kind of been growing like the Airbnbs. We're going to I haven't really ever advertised.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy to think about. But so that's what I told them. I'm like, we're getting all the bases covered, making sure I found a training and everything that everybody's going to go through. They're going to get certified. And so then we're going to open the floodgates for residentials. Because I've been having a ton of where we're at, it's a small town, but within say 50 miles, probably there's another bigger town. Yeah. And then the other direction, we're right next to the Wyoming border. And so that is an option also. I have
location.
Also, yeah. Yep. I have also decided to start a nonprofit. Yeah. So I have, because you see all of these elderly people, and it is, it's really heartbreaking because some of them, there's like a low income cleaners around here. I don't know if they have that over there, but there's a lot of them. You have to be at a certain income level to even qualify. And so if you're above that at all, you don't qualify. Well, if you don't have enough money to pay the cleaner, or say your family doesn't, they just get left behind.
Yeah.
And so that is what I want to start next. Yeah. So, which is a whole new ball game, because you got to have a board of directors and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, totally different.
Yes. And so in talking about that, my husband and I decided it would be really cool too, because he is a veteran, to do another arm of the company and do a company for just veterans.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
and now you're not cleaning anymore, so you have the time to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Makes a big difference.
Yay. I like no more cleaning. Yeah.
So
good to have you on.
I'm glad you asked me. I was so glad. Oh, thank you. Well, at first when you asked me, I'm like, you want me? Like,
yeah. It's like, yeah, we're going to tell that cattle ranch story.
I know. Yeah. We've had some good conversations.
We have had some good conversations, actually. Yeah. Yeah, we worked privately, so we got to say all kinds of stuff that we can't say on camera.
Right.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm so glad to see your success. And I'm glad that you get to tell everyone. That's part of why I started this Maids Who Made It, because I want people to see that you're not alone.
Yeah, it without a doubt. Like I said, even the therapy, just the encouragement, the support, all worth it. All worth it. I mean, and to just know that, like, at the end of the day, you're not alone. Like you said, it was just without question, I would do it again.
Yeah. Yay. Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. This is Maids Who Made It. I am always looking for new guests. If you have an interesting story and would like to tell me what it is and apply to be a guest, you can definitely DM me on Facebook or contact me on YouTube. All right, Brenda, thank you. Have an amazing evening.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.